Welcome to LifeXtreme Podcast. We hope you will be blessed, inspired, and encouraged by the message today. This message is recorded live at New Life Shah Alam.
The title that I precisely choose for today is 7 money phrases you need to know before you are turning 18. But for those who already turned 18, it's okay. It's never too late. I learned all this at the age of 26 or 27, so it's never too late for this. And if maybe you're wondering why the age 18, is because by the age of 18, you are allowed to get a loan from the bank. So the moment you are allowed to get loan from the bank, then you might bring yourself into some trouble by buying something that you perhaps should not buy. Perhaps it's too expensive for you. Perhaps your income is not you do not have a reservoir of funds. So that's why I think it's best to know all these things before you actually are given the license to borrow money. Okay, so I want to bring you to the parable of the talents. According to the NIV version, we instead using talents, we are using the bags of gold. So 1 talent equal to 1 bag of gold. Can I get someone to read?
It will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted his wealth to them. To one he gave 5 bags of gold, to another 2 bags, and to another 1 bag, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. So also the one with 2 bags of gold gained 2 more. But the man who had received 1 bag went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money.
Thank you, Chloe. Okay, this story doesn't stop here. Let's go to the second slide. Maybe then Jared. I'm choosing all those people that I cannot see the face now.
Okay, yeah. After
All right.
time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who had received 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness.
Awesome. Okay. The third slide.
22, right? Verse 22.
Yes, correct.
With 2 bags of gold also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 bags of gold. See, I have gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness.
All right, and the last part of the verse. Hi, Joshua. Can you read for us?
Then the man who had received 1 bag of gold came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid and went out and hid your gold in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you. His master replied, you wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers so that when I return, I would have received it back with interest.
Thank you, Joshua. Oh, one more slide actually. Caitlin, help me.
So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing teeth.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just now I like how Samuel say we ought to be the good steward of God, the good money steward of God. And through this parable, we see that the master has 3 employees. So while he went away, he entrusted his fund to the 3 employees. For one, he gave 5 bags of gold, another 2 bags of gold, and 1 bag of gold to another employee. So when he came back, the one that had 5 bags of gold and as well the one with the 2 bags of gold, they have generated double amount of what they had. And the master was very pleased. Then the one that the master entrusted with only 1 bag of gold, he rather dug a hole and put the money into it because he was scared, and also he was kind of lazy to think how to help the master to generate more money from the gold that he had. So the master was very, very upset. And not that the master say you lazy, you wicked and lazy servant. And then whatever he had, the 1 bag of gold was taken from him and given to the one that now who has 10 bags of gold. And that's the employee, got fired and got to stay outside of the house or of the company. So from the chapter here, from the parable, we see that what we learn from the parable is that first, God owns all the money. So this is a parable where it shows that God has given whatever we have now. So God is the source of, God is the Jehovah Jireh, God the provider. So all the money you have now, I have now, actually come from God. So He allowed us to have that amount of money based on our talent, our capability. And second, He gave us the money. He actually expects that we do something about that money, not just dig a hole and then just let it what we call it, be inactive in that hole or in the ground. So we are His money managers. So think about it. All the money you have now, it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to God. And when the money belongs to someone, or you won't have that much attachment to that money. But then we need to be responsible towards the money that we have, because we are His money manager. So to be a money manager in the real world, you need to really study hard and need to go through exam to learn all kind of money terms, money generating method, what is funds, what is stock market, mutual funds, all these things, a lot of things you need to learn. So things about our world right now is that at a young age, in the school, we don't really get the education, which I call financial IQ. We don't get it. If we don't get this kind of education, how are we going to be the money manager, right? And what if we turn 18 and we think that maybe we want to buy a car? Then maybe it is a bad decision. We don't know because we never learn about money. So today, this is why we are here. We are his money manager, and we cannot be lazy in money matters. We need to learn about money. And in fact, Bible actually got so many verses about money. It's not all about earning money. There are verses that warn us about loving money. And even Jesus also say, the love of the money is the root of all evil. So remember this, money is just a tool, okay? You cannot worship money. You should not worship money. You should worship God with the money, with your money. Okay, let's go into the 7 phrases that we are going to learn today. It looks like everybody understand what is the liability and asset now. It's very good. It's really very simple. And the sooner you realize about this and forget all the accounting term, the accounting, they have their part, okay? That's what they do. They categorize the property into asset. But when we learn about financial thing, we really need to think that asset as something that put money into your pocket. Just remember that. And I have actually a question, but Mom already answered it. If I'm buying a handphone for personal use, is it an asset or liability? What do you think? If you buy a handphone for personal use, is it an asset or liability? Anyone can answer, yeah.
Liability.
Liability, yeah. Yeah, correct. Okay, I would like to give another scenario since, okay, let's say Caitlin is buying a sewing machine. And just for hobby, is it an asset or it is a liability? So everyone say liability. Okay, what is the definition of liability? Whatever that takes money out of your pocket, right? So the only time that sewing machine is taking money out of maybe Caitlin pocket at this time, maybe is the time that she buy it. And after buying that sewing machine, if she just put it there, and if it doesn't cost any money, that can be neither asset nor liability actually, because the only time that she spent money on that sewing machine was the time that she actually buy it, and she need not to finance it, and it didn't take money out of it. So it can be considered non-object or neither asset nor liability.
Like an
But
expense.
Pardon?
Like an expense, isn't it? Just one-off
Yeah,
expense.
correct. And we are going into that another, that is another topic in another slide. So far everybody clear with asset and liability? Clear? Okay, all good? All right, then let's go into the third keyword, third phrase. Okay, income versus expense. All right, income. Income is that money that comes into your pocket. That is income. So whatever that come into your pocket, that money, the beautiful, colorful money, included coins, okay? Here. So income. what is your primary income source right now as student?
PTPTN.
PTPTN
It's
is
a
a
loan,
loan.
but in a way also giving money also. Temporary money.
I don't think it is an income lah, that one. it is a loan, and that will be in another slide. We'll talk about that a little bit. So it is not an income. Because at the end of the day, you have to pay how many percent? 2% of the, is it 2%?
I don't remember, man. I need to refer.
Yeah, but it's quite minimal lah.
Slowly, I guess it's written slowly. 1%.
1%?
Only 1%?
Yeah, man, it's very cheap.
It's very cheap. That's good. You should borrow more, man. Okay, Mahang said one example of an asset. We rent our storybook to our friends who wants to read it. So the storybook gives us money into our pocket. Yeah, that's correct. So income. Sean, what is your primary income?
No income.
No income. How do you get your money?
Borrow, I guess.
Borrow?
I mean, it's free, so, and it's, I don't know, is it income? Or is it already mine? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Income, who give you money to, you mean you are under what, PTPTN also?
No. My parents give me money.
Yeah, that is your income source. Your parent is your income source at the moment.
I thought income supposed to be like when you work, only you get money. That's income, right?
Now the money that come into your pocket, doesn't matter whether you work or not. If somebody keep giving you, let's say you have let's say sugar daddy that give you money. Very inappropriate, I know. I just want to bring you to the very far end. Then someone that give you money, then that is your income, regardless how it is. But as long as you didn't borrow, borrow money is not income. Just remember that. It's a wrong concept if you think that borrow money is income.
So if I pick up money from the street, then it's mine. So it's income, right?
But that one is not stable. It's like part-time income is not really a stable income, but it still can be considered as income.
I also don't know why I'm still finding the street.
So let me ask the working people like Mahong, what is your primary income source?
My primary income source is from my job. Yeah. Then the side income is from investments. Yeah, so we invest into certain things, and then those certain things kind of give you money. Like, okay, great.
That's great. That's great. Yes. Okay. And income. Oh, Mahang, just nice. Mahang just brought it up. He got two set of income. One is we call active income, which he worked for it. He go to office, he work, and at the end of the day, the boss happy with him and then pay him money. And then the second type is that passive income. Income that he don't have to work for it. He just put the money into the investment fund, and if the market is doing well, at the end of the year, he got perhaps 8% or 10% of his total investment. That is what we call passive income. And in Sean's case, your income can be considered passive income because it's from your parent. You don't have to really do anything. You just have to be the son, Just in the name of the son, you're already entitled to get a passive income. But this passive income of yours, we call pharma income, is not permanent, because one day perhaps we will be the one that who need to give this kind of passive income to our parent back, just to give back lah. When one day when we earn our own money, then takkan you ask your parent to give, he still give you money, right? Okay, question is, which type of income will you prefer? Active income or passive income? Passive, Z say passive. NG passive, Samuel passive. Okay, looks like almost everybody say passive, huh? Because active income is the one that you really need to be hardworking enough to go to office to work. That is, and passive income is the income that you use your financial IQ to earn. You have to think. And the example of passive income, the active income is very clear, right? Wherever you work, even if you own a business, if you still have to work for that business, it is active income for you. Okay. Passive income is the one that you don't have to work for it. Only at the beginning, maybe you need to work. It's like you are planting a durian tree. At the beginning, you won't get any income. You just have to plant the tree and then water it, and slowly you see the tree grow up, and you still don't get any income because there'll be no durian tree until 4 years later, and the root is very deep already, and it can find its water itself. And every year you get 2 times of durian seasons, and you get the durian. Let's say if you grow Musang King, and every kilo you earn maybe 30 to 60 ringgit, and there will be big buck for you, and that we can call passive income because you don't have to water already. It's deep enough. So everybody's passive income is different. It's really based on your creativity. For me, the type of passive income that I like is the one that I earn it with business. So what I do website. So I will create a website. So nowadays it's very easy to do website. Anybody also can do. So I just create a website that people are interested in the topic, and the traffic comes, and I earn from the advertisement. And regardless whether I work on the website or not today, I might still earning a little bit lah. Okay. So that is what we call passive income. Passive income is the income that you generate even if you are sleeping. Now, in life, we should really use our financial IQ to think of a way how to generate this kind of passive income. So at the beginning, definitely you will have to earn an active income because no money, unless everybody like Sean like that. Yeah, then can ask the parents to sponsor, then okay lah. Regardless, at the beginning, when we are young, normally we will start with active income, and we will have to save some money from this active income. The general rule that I heard last time, I attended a financial talk in NG's church. I forgot who is the speaker, but he told us about this number 6211. So 6211 means 60% of your money, of your income, should be used for your daily expenses. The household, when you own a house, the rental, the car expenses, the petrol, the grocery, then one day you want to go eat out nice. So that's 60% of income. You should use 60% of the income to do all these things. And then 20% of the income should be, you should save it. for save it until it is enough that you stumble upon an opportunity that you can invest into passive income, or an opportunity that you can create a business that can create passive income. So the 20% is so important. And another 10%, 6211, and the next 10% is the money that you should use to put into your insurance, because insurance is very important. Anybody who knows about financial IQ, knowing that protecting yourself or protecting your income source is super important. Insurance means that when you are sick, you don't have to fork out your own money to be hospitalized, not to see doctor. To see doctor, insurance don't cover. To be hospitalized. So it means that if you meet a car accident, if you have accident insurance, or we call it personal accident insurance, then the insurance will cover all your hospitalization fees. So that 10% is the one that you use to pay your insurance premium. We call it insurance premium. Premium means the money that you have to pay to service that insurance. Normally, the insurance agent will come to you and tell you, okay, this is how much you should pay monthly to get covered this much. They all have the policy lah. So the 10%, and then the last 10%, this is very important 10%, is to pay tithe, to give back to God. Because we say God owns the money and we need to use the 10% to give back to the kingdom of God, so that it can grow from there to finance the church, to do more church work, ministry, all the nice icon that we're enjoying in church. All this because our friends, our brother and sister give that 10%. So remember 6211. When you don't know how to use your money, remember 6211. And 60% you can use wherever you want, however you want. 20% is for your rainy day, for your passive income. 10% is for your insurance protection. And another 10% is for the expansion of God's kingdom. So that is when you get active income. Okay, the third keyword is, of course, expense. Okay, expense is the money that you get out of your pocket. Like just now, the example that we used, Caitlin buying a sewing machine, that is an expense if that sewing machine doesn't cost her anything else after that. So expense, and not every expense is bad, you know. Some expense is good. Some expense that you use to actually, let's say you, can you give me an example of good expense? Expenses like belanja mahal lunch is good. Sounds good. Sounds good. What else? What is the expense that is good? No idea, huh? Money well spent. Okay, Angie, can you give me an example of money well spent? Discounted items. Okay. Okay, I think the definition of money well spent is that if you spend the money on something useful, yes. If you spend the money so that you can get healthy, yeah, correct. Or you the best investment or best expense that you can do is to invest into yourself, to spend money on yourself. I know that people that they have this impulsive spending. So when they spend money, they feel good. They feel very, very good, especially when they will melt down, they face some bottleneck in their life, they don't know how to go on, they go to shopping complex and they just really do shopping the whole day. And then at the end of the day, they brought a lot of things back and they feel good. But is it a good expense? This is an expense that to make yourself feel good. Is it a good expense? Well, there is no absolute good or bad actually. Just remember one thing, expense. If you have this amount of money, if you expense this amount, then it's okay. Like I say, 60% you can spend it all, doesn't matter. But if your income is just a little bit, but you spend more than what you have, especially how do we do it? Normally, when we use credit cards, this is where the danger comes in. Because every credit card has a limit, right? Some credit card, maybe Mahong's credit card got 60K limit, right, Mahong?
Yep. I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe 60K, you know. If let's say Mahong today, I feel like quite impulsive, want to buy a car, maybe a Myvi, 60K, he just swaps. So he created a 60K car just like out of thin air. But next month he has to pay it, you know. So credit card is using or to expense your future money. It's quite dangerous. So for credit card is a tool, but it is also a dangerous tool. It's just like sword, you know. It can, or it's just a knife. It can cut veggie. It can also cut yourself. So be mindful when you expense. The general rule is that you don't expense what you don't have, lah. Okay, don't spend what you don't have. You must know how much you have. What is your 60%? Even if that is the income that you get from your parents, still you can apply the same thing, 60%, just use it, and then 20% save it, okay? Okay, after we talk about income versus expense, now we go into the next one called cash flow versus capital gain. Okay, cash flow is the movement of cash. The movement, whether your cash flow go into the positive cash flow or into the negative cash flow. The positive cash flow, positive cash flow is when your income more than your expense on a given period of time. And negative cash flow is when your income less than your expense. So cash flow is very important in the financial world because it is a measurement of how healthy is your financial status. Cash flow is like the bloodstream in our life. You know, without blood, we cannot survive. You know that, right? So without a positive cash flow, we actually literally cannot survive financially. So just imagine we have a big container, okay, and you have income from the top, just pouring down the water, pour into the container, and your expense is the hole that you pour. You buy a car, you have to pay your monthly installment, put a hole. Okay, you rent a house, then you have to pay the rental, you put another hole. And the more holes you poke, the faster the water flows out, right? If the income source is not big enough, it means that your container will run dry one day or for the given month. So the game plan here is to make sure the container is filled with water. Okay? So there are two things to do when you find that your container actually is leaking out more than actually filling in. First is that you need to have a bigger income source. You need to have stronger water flow into it. Or you can get a tape, just take the whole lah. Okay, stop spending like crazy. Okay, things that you don't need, just cancel it. Okay, don't spend already. But this is cash flow, and maintaining a positive cash flow is the essential of any financial world. Yeah, in our financial education, it is so important. And capital gain. Okay, capital gain is increase in value of an asset. So sometimes we buy an asset and the asset is generating cash flow for you, but at the same time, the asset itself, suddenly the value of the asset has spent. And if you sell the asset, it actually give you more money. Let's say you are buying a house and the house you rent it out to someone. Every month you have to pay to bank 2,000 and your tenant pay you 3,000 and you have a cash flow of how much? 1,000, right? Positive cash flow. Because you get your income is 3,000, your expense is 2,000, then you get a difference of 1,000 in positive cash flow, and it's a very good investment. And then one day you decide that the market price of this unit is increasing. You bought it at 500,000 ringgit, and now it is at 700,000, and you just sell it. So the moment you sell this property, you are gaining 200,000 ringgit, and this is what we call capital gain. So sometimes in the game of money, you either buy something for its cash flow, means that you buy the house and for income purpose, like just now I say you rent it out and then you get 3,000 and then you pay bank 2,000 and your income is actually, your net income is 1,000. Or you can buy it, just put there, after a few years, it become appreciated and it increase in the value and you just sell it. So this is what we call capital gain. So you can choose either way. I'd like to discuss with you a topic regarding to this cash flow versus capital gain. Okay. Let's us do the cow business. I say one day I decided to buy a piece of land and I want to rear cow in this piece of land. In any type of business, we have two models. One, we call it cash flow model, and another one is capital gain model. Okay, Sean.
Caitlin, I don't know how to say.
I try to sum it up, okay.
Okay.
So basically we had like two concepts. Was like one that's that we just collect buy like good quality beef, and then we just wait until like the price of the beef actually really appreciates and everything is like everybody's like really has high demand for it. So thus the cost of it, the pricing for it will be very, very high. Then we'll just sell it off at that price point and actually earn back double what or triple what we actually initially bought it for. And then the other idea was that we actually buy one male, one female, and then consequently, while waiting for the price to appreciate, will actually sort of like continue to nurture and like keep up, so that when there is like a perfect price point selling price, we'll just sell all at once, and then yeah, so it's like double from what we had. So sort of that concept. Yeah.
Very good, very good. I really like all the ideas that we get here, and clearly you all really understand what is cash flow model. And the presentation from Lee Jia just now from the first group, I really only think about milking the cow when I initially yeah. Okay. I need to share screen right now. Forgot. Yeah, in the beginning, I was only thinking of the milking the cow, but then looks like we got so many other examples. Really good, really good, really good. I'm so impressed. Really, really, really good. Good job, good job. And then for the capital gain, I was thinking of the selling the cow, or we slaughter the cow. So basically, you all really understand already this thing. So in business in future, what you can use really the mixture of both. In the cow business like we have now, while waiting for the cow to mature, we can milk the cow, or we can even use their dung or whatever to get the cash flow positive. Because I just now, Sean say, we still need to, like Caitlin say, we need to expand, we need to spend money to maintain the farm as well. So at first we, of course, while waiting for capital gain, we use cash flow model. Then if you like the cash flow model, you can see the cash flow model is the faster way to gain money, yeah? But you won't get a lot. You will get a little bit cash flow, and capital gain is the faster way of earning more money in the shortest time. But if we combine these two, then we'll have a empire here, cow empire. We have petting zoo lah. We can sell Wagyu beef lah. Somehow we got milking, taking photo lah. All kind of possibility that we can have. It's really good. Okay, thank you for this discussion, and let's go into our last money phrase, which is debt. Okay, what is debt? Okay, debt is money that we borrow from bank, from friends, and also from government, since we got PTPTN here. So anything that you loan, that's called debt. Like for Lydia case, she loaned for education. There's an education loan, right? And not all debt is bad and all. Some debt is actually good if we can use it, if we use it wisely. Why debt is so important? I want to include credit card actually also into this debt discussion. The common credit card won't charge you interest for I think 1 month. 1 month. So it means that if you use the future money, you have actually 1 month of time to pay it off. There is a cut-off date, or we call it payment date in every credit card statement. Just look carefully, what is the amount that you have to pay, and when is the cut-off time, when is the payment time. So if you observe this correctly, actually you use the credit card like charm, You just borrow the money from the credit card company. We use their money, and then we do whatever investment or whatever thing that we want with their money, and then after 1 month, we pay them back without interest. So if we are smart enough, in this 1 month, actually we use the money to generate something else already. But the danger is always this: when you overuse your credit card. What overuse means abuse lah. So if you abuse your credit card, then there will be danger lah. And I advise everyone get just one credit card lah in future, because for more credit card that you have to pay the service tax. I think it really depends. There are two types of things that you have to pay. One is the government tax, that I think 50 ringgit a year per credit card. I'm not really sure. I think it's about that. And then there's another one is the tax that the bank actually implement, the bank that charge you. So there will be like two types of tax that they might combine it into one. Like credit card that I have, every year they charge me about 250 ringgit, but it's waivable. So at the beginning of the year, I will see my statement, hey, got 250 ringgit, charged to my credit card. Then they will not waive it automatically. So bank is like that. You have to ask Manho no. Bank is like that. So you will have to go and call their hotline. So you have to call their hotline and then to waive it. All right. Okay, that's about credit card. And now the debt. I said not all debt is bad debt. So good debt is the debt that you use. You use the money that you borrow from bank and to buy assets. And asset is the one that put money back into your pocket. So if you know how to use the good debt to buy assets, then it is a good debt. So similarly, if you borrow money from bank to buy something that actually taking money again out of your pocket. For example, you use it to buy the car for your own leisure. I mean, car is a necessity nowadays, but if you buy car that beyond your ability to finance, then it is really a bad debt lah. Okay. Important to understand this. That's why I say before 18, you should know that you should know what is the difference between good debt and bad debt. If you don't know, then maybe you'll get advice from your parents, of maybe Mahon also can. Yeah, Mahon also in the loan department. Right, Mahon? And the danger of the bad debt, should know, is the bankruptcy. So the bankruptcy is the worst thing that we can have for now. A person can be declared bankrupt through the court of law when he's unable to pay a debt of at least 100,000. It was revised. Previously was 50K, and previously it was only 30K. So the reason is because a lot of young people actually are declared bankrupt because they owed like 30K and above. So that's why they just revive it into 100K. So what do you get when you are declared bankrupt? So this is the one. It will have limitation. You're not allowed to travel overseas. So if your friends and family go overseas, you have to stay behind. Then you're only allowed to have one bank account only. Also, you cannot start a business or cannot be a director of any company, and also cannot hold a title in the management of the company or organization. And also, you are allowed to have just one credit card with 1,000 credit limits. So with 1,000 credit limit, you, as an adult, we can't really do a lot of things. 1,000 is a little bit too low. As well, you cannot, if you study as an accountant or lawyer or doctor or quantity surveyor, even that, you cannot be employed as all this professional job. So if you are a lawyer and you suddenly declare bankrupt, you cannot be a lawyer anymore. So you without profession, who are you, right? After all, we learn all our life this profession. So it's something that we need to think about bankruptcy. And the reasons of why Malaysians are declared bankrupt. We can see 14% are from a business loan, 24% from a personal loan, 26% from a housing loan, and 36% from hire purchase loan. Hire purchase loan is the loan that you get to buy your vehicle, your car. So 36%, this is a lot. So a lot of people, when they buy car, get emotional. Maybe they wanted just to buy a Viva and then suddenly it become an Camry. It can be. It can be because car is emotional thing, you know. My friend has it, I also want to have it. But think twice before you commit yourself into all this loan, okay? And come to a statistic. Most of Malaysians that have been declared bankrupt are within the age group of 35 to 44. Yeah. And 25 to 34 comes second with 22.5%. It means out of 100 people who are bankrupt, there are 22.5 people are young people from the age group of 25 to 34. And this is the age group, maybe at the age of 21 or 22, they purchase a car, and at the age of 25, they cannot service the car loan anymore. Is when they actually declare bankruptcy. But nowadays, since the barrier, the amount of the money that needed to be declared bankruptcy has become 100,000, maybe there will be less people declare bankrupt, but still it's very, very important to know. Don't get yourself into bankruptcy. Yeah. Okay, the bonus point that I want to bring to you all today is financial freedom. So what is financial freedom? Very easy. Monthly income bigger than monthly expense, then you'll get financial freedom. So if you get income, especially when the income is passive income that you do nothing and you can just use it to sustain your monthly expense, then that is already financial freedom. Let's say if you are a guy who has passive income of 2,000, let's say you are as smart as Mahong, you invest into some fund and it generates you 2,000 ringgit every month. And your monthly expense is actually only 1,500 a month. And you have a cash flow of 500 USD, 500 ringgit there. And congratulations, actually you're already financial free, you know. And that 500 cash flow, 500 free money that you have, you can put back into your investment account again. And it will generate more and more. So, and it become an exponential thing. Then maybe when you are adult enough or old enough, then you will have a lot of money to invest into more fund or invest into more businesses. Okay, financial freedom, how do we achieve it? Everybody want, right? But how do we achieve it? It's super simple, it's super simplified. Just discern it. Buy or build assets. You should spend all your financial time to just looking into buy or looking into build the asset. Asset is whatever put money into your pocket. So just concentrate on buying or building assets. But why a lot of people cannot do it? Because they mistaken liability for assets. So sometimes you think your house is an asset, but think again whether it is your asset. Does it generate money into your pocket every month, or it take up money actually from your pocket? Forget about the capital gain of the house for the moment, because capital gain maybe will occur 3 years later or 5 years later. So to achieve financial freedom, just concentrate into buy or build asset. This is the thing that you might help you lah in future. Okay, just think of this. Okay, the last slide. Recap what we have learned. Okay, we learned that God owns all the money in the world. So everything in this world, everything that we have belong to God. Okay. Again, we are His money manager. So we have a duty, we have a responsibility to handle the money wisely. Okay. If one day you find yourself went into bankruptcy or whatever, it means that you are not learning enough. You are not honoring His money, you know. So it is our sole duty to actually really learn the money matter. 7 phrases that we learn today: asset, and then liability, and income, expense, cash flow, capital gain, and debt. Okay. Thank you very much. And if you have more questions, you can ask me personally, or as well Manhong, or you can go to manhong.com to get some sound advice. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for listening to the LifeXtreme Podcast, and we hope you've been blessed by this message. If you'd like to listen to more podcasts, you can consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, LifeXtreme. If you'd like to find out more about LifeXtreme, you can follow our Instagram page, lifextreme.youth. Have a great day.